once upon a time, when I was 23 years old, I made the fateful decision to move from my home in Brooklyn, New York to Israel. Not the kind of move I could have made with a U-Haul and a couple of friends. Good thing, I didn't have any friends at that time. But that's another story. So my first day in Israel, I met Mindy, who would be the love of my life for 32 years. When she passed, we have 3 beautiful children as a result. My wife was perfect in every way, but she had an odd sense of humor. For example, she looked at me one day and said, "Jay, I don't think your parents were Jewish. They were faking it." What? I never did figure out where that came from. So let's think about this. My parents were living in Poland just before World War II. The Holocaust had already begun in a couple of other countries. Hitler was knocking on their door. And this is when they decide this would be a great time to pretend to be Jewish. I don't think so. And then I began to wonder, why would anyone under any circumstances pretend to be Jewish? Well, we are the chosen people, check. But since God chose us a few thousand years ago, it's been downhill. There are those throughout history who try to destroy us as a people, enslave us, kick us out of their countries. Terrible stuff. And for most of my life, I wondered, what did we ever do to deserve such service, such aggravation? And then one day it clicked. I know what it is. It's so simple. It's nothing we did. It's that we have a terrible marketing department. We're not selling it like other religions. For example, if somebody wants to convert to Christianity, as long as they believe Jesus is their Lord and Savior, they're in. As a bonus, they get a reserved seat in heaven when it's their time. If they don't believe in Jesus, then their soul is condemned to burn in hell for eternity. And in terms of marketing, the choices are clear, concise, easy sell. If somebody wants to convert to Islam, as long as they believe in the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, they're in. If they don't, their punishment is a little more immediate. Think about that one. Now, what if somebody wants to convert to Judaism? Well, the first thing is they're asked one question. Why? That's true. And then we make it as difficult as possible for them to convert. Example, true story. Another person I met when I was in Israel was from California, and when he was living there, he decided to convert to Judaism. He even had a circumcision done as an adult. I know. I feel it right now. He came to Israel to complete the process and was told his circumcision was done incorrectly. True. And he was told if he's going to be Jewish, he would have to be circumcised again. And he did it. If Judaism required me to be circumcised again as an adult, to, I don't know, renew my membership or something, all I would say to that is, praise Jesus! There's no way in hell I'm ever going to do that. Actually, Jews don't believe in hell. So there's no way I would ever do that. Now, what about religious holidays? In terms of marketing, I'm afraid my people fall short again. Because practically every Jewish holiday commemorates something horrible that happened to our people. And we observe it in a way that would make us feel bad so we can empathize with our ancestors. An example would be Passover, in which we commemorate the time we were slaves in Egypt. And we observe it by having a dinner called a Passover Seder, and we have foods that are typical or symbolic of that time. Matzah would be one of them, unleavened bread. And that reminds us of the time that the Pharaoh finally agreed to let my people go. I didn't do that well. And the slaves were ecstatic, but they knew the Pharaoh, so they figured they better get out of town quickly, just leave. So they left everything. They didn't even wait for the bread to rise. They didn't put any yeast in it, nothing, just get out. And they were right. The Pharaoh changed his mind and ordered his army to try to get us back. I think the order was in a tweet. Not positive about that. So, that's a typical Jewish holiday. Sad. Now, how do Christians deal with holidays? In terms of marketing, much better. For example, take the worst day ever in Christian history, the day Jesus was crucified. I mean, that's about as bad as it gets, right? Right. So, what do they call it? Good Friday. Because he died for our sins. That's taking a really negative event and spinning it into a positive one. In terms of marketing, that is gold. If my people observe Good Friday, we don't, but if we did, we wouldn't call it good. That's number one. And we have to think of something to make us feel bad, and for more than one day. So maybe in honor of Jesus, we would not do any carpentry work for 8 days. Actually, I think Jesus is the only Jewish carpenter in history. If any of you ever hired a carpenter, they weren't Jewish. So that's my story of why my people have been so miserable for thousands of years. I'm Jay Heller. Thank you. Good night. Shalom. Shalom.